And I'm back. So I know it's been a minute since we've had a video. I think it was the mayonnaise beer, which it was an April Fool's joke, people. I've got the can over here. We'll do a video on that. I was hoping to do it next, but I've got something extremely special. So if you're watching this video, watch it to the end, and it may be a little longer than my normal 10-minute thing. But I want to start out. So the glass that I've used for all of my videos that you've seen is Anchor Brewing Company, and this is the Liberty Ale Anchor Brewing out of California. Little small microbrewery, started in the 60s, and the Maytag guy, the Maytag man, literally bought this brewery in the 1980s. And then, I don't know, probably 3 or 4 years ago, maybe 5 years ago, sometime in the 20-teens, it was bought out by Sapporo, the Japanese brewery, which I do like Sapporo beer. They bought that brewery out. Well, today they announced that they are no longer going to do nationwide distribution, which really hurts my feelings. The first clone beer I ever did was Anchor Steam. I cloned that beer and I did taste tests with friends of mine and was able to make that exact beer. And I really like a steam beer, because those of you that really know me know that I like lagers. I like that crisp, clean thing. But a steam beer is a lager fermented at ale temperatures. And White Labs and Y Yeast and all your major yeast manufacturers have come out with what they call the California ale yeast. But anyway, as of today, they announced that they're no longer doing nationwide distribution with Anchor Steam, and they're no longer going to be brewing their Christmas ale, which I thought was phenomenal. And I'm Santa Claus. This is the Beer Santa channel. So a little disappointed with Anchor Steam, but the glass that I have used for all of my beer reviews has been the Anchor Brewing Company glass, only because I like it, that it's got some texture to it. It shows up great on camera. I usually keep it turned this way. I wasn't really doing any advertising for the Anchor Brewing Company, but now I am, because as of today, we can't get this beer unless you live in California. But the main reason for this brewery, or for this beer review, as many of you know, I host foreign exchange students. We had a student from the Netherlands, or Holland, as his mother was very quick to inform us, but he was also quick to inform us that it's the Netherlands. But the Netherlands includes like the Caribbean islands that they own and whatnot, and Holland is the proper area of the Netherlands. And his neighbor has a brewery. This is a craft brewery in the Netherlands. And I'm thinking, okay, I'll enjoy my Heineken. But this isn't Heineken. I've got 4 beers to review. This is the first one. This is the Keiler, which I don't know how to say it in Dutch. And it's also called Artemis, which is probably not the correct way to say it. What I do like about this beer is, and I do understand this in English, alcohol by volume, 9.1%, which seems a little high for a Keiler beer for me. The IBUs are 23 degrees, but they also tell you what temperature to drink this beer, which this one should be drank at 12 Celsius. And I'm not going to do the math for you on that, but it should be about 55 degrees. Just quickly in my head right there, because I didn't do the math before we started. Ooh, headed up. So this literally just came from Holland just a couple days ago. I don't know what temperature it's been kept at. Lots of carbonation there. Part of the beers they brought me, they did bring me an IPA and a session IPA, along with a Keiler beer, and just give me a second, a farmhouse ale. So I'm really looking forward to the farmhouse, just because I'm thinking with it being that close to France, it's going to be kind of a French style farmhouse ale, which I typically like a little bit more than the Belgian and whatnots. But speaking of Belgium and us hosting foreign exchange students, we're getting a student from Belgium in August. So this is June of 2023. August of 2023, we will have a student from Belgium coming to the house. Typically, the kids don't send beer over or bring beer with them. They do bring nice gifts when they come. They're usually afraid to bring the beer. Last year, we had Rodrigo from Spain, and his father came over, and he brought me some Spanish beer. Unfortunately, I wasn't doing this blog or YouTube channel at that time, and I just drank the beer and enjoyed it. Had I been doing it back then, I would be doing one of these reviews, and hopefully our future students, or their parents at least, will bring us some beer. So what I'm noticing about this one, this definitely a bottle conditioned beer. I mean, I don't know if that shows up on camera, but there is definitely some yeast sediment in that. And years ago here in the United States, you would get that at craft breweries, and that's when I was big into brewing and starting the brewery that I started that I'm no longer involved with. But it was the bottle conditioned beers and whatnot. And this one is definitely bottle conditioned. It's hazy, and my glass isn't cold. The beer is probably at the right temperature. I wish I could read more of the label, but like I said, I don't read Dutch. If you do read Dutch, send me a message. I'll take a picture of the label and send it to you, and you can translate it. Ivar is gone. He left out of here last Friday with his mom and dad. They're traveling up and down the East Coast. If you're interested in hosting an exchange student, it's a great experience. And reach out to me, and I'll tell you how to do that. But tonight is me drinking the Artemis Keiler, and I'm probably not saying that right, but I can't understand enough of the ingredients. Water, Gerstenmalt, which is grain, hop, yeast, and then Eco-Hooten snippers. I don't know what an Eco-Hooten snipper is, but we're getting ready to find out. So I got a lot of sweetness on the nose. I was expecting some nuttiness, but I'm not getting that. I'm getting some caramel. Let's see what it tastes like. I mean, so I'm going to be honest. I mean, all my reviews are honest. It tastes like an extract beer. And I'm not saying they use extract for their brewing, but it's very malty, and I'm not against malt. But I get some of that artificial extractiness off of it. And for you home brewers that started out as extract brewers, you know what I'm talking about here. Most people in the United States probably wouldn't pick this up. It's not as overcarbonated as I thought it would be. When I poured it, it had a lot of head. It kind of foamed up a little bit. And I'm just going to chalk that up to the travel and on the airplane. Because, I mean, they have this, like, hidden in their luggage. I've learned with my exchange students that whenever they travel or whatnot, they get really worried about customs, which I understand that. But it's not as overcarbonated as I thought it would be. Carbonation, I'm going to guess it at 2.3, no more than 2.7 vols. And like I said, for the home brewers out there and the brewers, that you'll know what I'm talking about. It's a drinkable beer. I'm not gonna discount it. It would not win any awards at any judging competitions that I've judged, but it wouldn't be sent back with a 13 either. It's a very middle of the road, standard, just good drinkable beer. And I'm okay with that. I mean, this was hand delivered to me from Holland, and I'm not going to complain. So if you're ever in the Netherlands or Holland, and they get real picky about that, it's certainly a beer that I would recommend drinking. I will finish this beer. I've got 3 more of these to do, and I'm not going to post them all at one time back to back. So you can watch this one tonight and then watch the other 3 as I do them. I will do the other reviews here quickly because I don't want these beers to age and lose, especially the IPAs. I don't want them to lose any hops or whatnot. So they will be drank fresh. But anyway, there's the first international from the Netherlands or Holland beer review on the Beer Sounded TV. And cheers.